This is an amazing terrace garden, and we're going to take you on a full garden tour. We take a look at this garden with 13 terraces on a steep block. It includes a vegetable garden, fruit trees, bulbs, succulents, roses, beautiful dry stone walls, and much more. It was built mainly with recycled and repurposed materials. A steep garden can be difficult, however this garden is accessible and provides a number of microclimates suited to the needs of different plants. So this is Ross's garden. 13 terraces, Ross?
About 13 terraces.
And you started off with a plan, and that's it.
It started off with many a plan. This was the master copy, and that I just overlaid and with whiteout as I continued to change.
So this is the front
That's the
driveway?
front. Yeah.
And that's pretty much true to the plan?
Reasonably true. It's since been edited. Some things have failed. What I realised was what looks good on the plan doesn't translate to real life because scale is all wrong. So I wound up overplanting.
And the whiteout part?
That was a complete reconsideration. So that's,
That's gone?
That's gone.
But this top part?
Largely the same. Yeah, that kind of panned out.
So although
Mainly with the pathways and just how the pathways and the terraces were going to relate to each other.
So although the design and pathways and terraces are there, the plants themselves change a fair bit.
They did. But consideration was given for the planting. Like where all the citrus, this is all the citrus, were to go over here, just how I could keep it sort of reasonably open and sunny so I could have a decent sort of veggie garden and grow all the plants I wanted to grow.
So this is the garden, and it's on a reasonably steep block. You started at the top and worked your way down?
Started right up in the top right corner and just progressed down the hill. It's easier to throw soil and build a bed. If you start from the top, you can see exactly where the terraces need to go, what height they need to be.
Main access paths?
Main access, you can get a wheelbarrow up and down.
And everything's paved, so you can get around it fairly easily.
The whole idea was to be able to get out here in my slippers.
Yep.
Do a little bit of gardening.
13 terraces or so?
13 terraces.
And you built this while you were working, so it's taken a while to build. And dry stone walls mainly?
Dry stone with capping on the walls that I'm clambering over because you don't want to upset the capping if it's a frequently used bed.
And there's different rooms for different types of plants?
There are. There are beds for citrus. I did have espalier apples, but that didn't pan out terribly well with all the cockatoos.
And then we've got the veggies along here, and
We've got our veggie bed.
basil's looking really good. Lots of climbing plants as well.
But do like my roses and clematis.
They also act as a bit of a barrier too, don't they?
Yeah. Visual barrier. And, just sort of do like the idea of rooms, garden rooms.
So up the back we've got blueberries.
Some blueberries, some roses, citrus bed.
And
Foundations for a shed, which was the very first thing I built, and never got around to actually building the shed on top of it.
so all of this was planned out with types of plants for specific areas, and then little sheds which are practical but also a design element, I guess.
They are a design element. Sheds give you, small sheds, they give you bones in a garden. I'm quite keen on having some architecture in a garden. They're all cobbled together out of second-hand material.
So really most of the material used here is second-hand or reclaimed.
It's all been scrounged. The only thing I've really paid for are bags of cement, screedings and sand.
And from up here you sort of get an idea of the steepness of the garden because we're right up the top. And again, little raised areas in between just for...
Yeah, a little bit of glass to protect the cacti and succulents from excessive rain.
And another shed up here, which is what, potting shed.
Bit of a potting shed and a little bit of cacti diorama.
Burro's tails or donkey tails, looking really healthy. And a little bit of propagation and
Casualty.
Where did you get your original ideas for this type of garden?
Italian mother-in-law. She was a peasant woman from northern Italy and brought to this garden in North Bourne just the peasant mentality in that the back is fully productive and the front was decorative and beautiful, and it was Nonna's purse. It was created from Nonna's purse. She'd go to church every Sunday. On the way back, Nonna's purse, there'd be a cutting that'd go into the purse, and she'd propagate from that. So it was a bit of a schmozzle. If there was room for a plant, a cutting went in.
And
so it was playful in that regard and disciplined. There was Nonna and, of course, my partner, Robin. She was much enamoured with gardens and plants, so I built it for her. And I always ran past any ideas by her, and either they were too stupid for words or just talking about it, and she gives the nod, so it went ahead.
And I have to say that for myself, I might have a lot of input in the garden and have ideas as well that Ross will use, because the best idea wins, not the competition of who has the idea. But it's just me editing his ideas, and I just jump in towards the end. They're his ideas in the beginning.
And with what you've put into this garden, you've got a huge variety of plants, really.
Yeah, well, plantaholic. So, I've tried to, create spaces that'll accommodate the plants that I've sort of collected over the years. The plants have controlled me, really, and what's happened here. Where you've got to put up a bit of shade cloth, where I've got to put up a bit of glass to protect, the cacti and succulents and epis and what have you.
So pretty much every nursery in Melbourne?
Pretty much. Yeah.
From people like Stephen Ryan?
Yeah, Steve Ryan, Dixonia, I've got a few from him. Gentiana, Craig's been fantastic. Cloud Hill, Wishingwell, Bunnings, Collector's Corner. Used to frequent Collector's Corner a lot. Or the kids would always just give me a gift card for Collector's Corner.
So anywhere that
you
saw something that you've liked.
I took a fancy to and tried not to kill, but invariably did until you get reasonably good at it.
So we've got long terraces like this running across.
Yes.
And there's lots of little structures as well.
Yeah. Just like structure sort of helps frame the garden. 2 sheds that are largely useless, but I just like the look of them.
With this garden, a lot of the materials, nearly all of the materials, are recycled things.
Yeah, all recycled. I do like a patina.
And you also use the Rio.
Lots of Rio. This is Blueberries.
Okay.
And that's so I can net it.
Okay, so the mesh over the top means the net.
Yeah, just throw some net over the top and we can easily, it's like a curtain. You can just pull it apart so you can pick your fruits.
And the little finales on the top?
That was the original way, these little balls. I was throwing net over that, and that just stopped the net from catching on the steel, but it wasn't terribly effective, so I got some more Rio.
And this is just a
12mm deformed bar, a little bit of mesh.
What sort of mesh is this?
That comes off an old conveyor belt.
Okay, so again, recycled.
Yeah,
and found.
Things I scrounge.
Okay.
Inveterate scrounger.
So this is one of the terraces.
Well, veggies on the left. Go through a lot of herbs, a lot of rosemary, a lot of thyme. Can't have enough thyme, can't have enough rosemary.
And this is sort of
collection of succulents.
Collector's paradise, almost.
Yeah. Succulents Australia, odds and sods.
And again, another structure up here.
Bit of a propagation area. Bog garden, looking a little sad.
Saracenas coming on.
Saracenas, yeah. Haven't been that good this year. Got some sundews, carrots,
So I guess the cold, the sort of wet winter was a bit much.
I think it was a bit, it knocked them about a bit.
Yeah. Because
Unseasonably cold.
and we are in sort of, well, almost the middle of winter, but not quite. So this is the bare bones.
Yeah.
So we're seeing things as they are, and if we look down to the next level down here, we're looking at the veggie garden. Not a lot going in there, on there at the moment.
No, we're unfortunately shaded from the north, where we get our sun from, by the neighbour's trees. So there's very little that'll sort of grow in the shade through the winter. So it's largely a spring, summer, autumn garden, veggie garden, but very prolific.
And it's not all veggies because we've got a lot of ornamental plants as well. So lots of succulents.
We do like our succulents. This area was prepared to become a chook shed, and currently I've still got a house to build, so I'm not allowed to build the chook shed until I've finished the house.
Another shed?
Another shed. This is got some Hoya epis, and that's Euphorbia amac from a cutting that I took off a monster.
We move through, again, hanging baskets,
Odds and sods
bit of sculpture.
sort of thing. Pruned the top off that Euphorbia, and they strike really well. Only about 4 years old. It was only probably 2 foot high when I got it, and that's what it's done in 3 and a bit years.
And through here, more succulents.
More succulents, just a little bit of a diorama.
And again, it's winter, so some are looking good, like the donkey's tail,
Yeah. Burrito's tail.
burrito's tail.
Yeah. Very interesting Euphorbia here. Euphorbia decarii.
Okay. So that's a rare one.
Yeah.
Don't see that around very much.
You don't.
And what's this one up here?
It's an aloe.
It's an aloe.
Yeah. I can't remember which one.
So this is a brom, and it's growing in a
Bit of tree fern.
bit of tree fern,
Yeah.
which always works well.
Yeah.
Now this little community here,
That's Zai.
this is one of Craig from Gentiana's favourite. If we continue along, this is the next terrace down.
And this one is chocolate something.
Yep.
But very fond of this one. This one's beautiful in summer. It's
It brings out the colour.
Oh, it's lovely.
And this is sort of one of the features, is the rock garden,
Crevice garden.
crevice garden,
Of sorts.
and the dry stone walls. They're all a feature of the garden. That's everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's your thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Has been. I used to do it professionally,
Okay.
and a bit of remedial therapy, largely.
Which is excellent. And you can see
It's a
you've got all
jigsaw.
sorts of things growing out through here.
This is a gorgeous thing. This is Palmerii, Sedum Palmerii.
Yep.
Beautiful, deep golden flower. It just has that interesting.
And that's just growing out of the
Yeah,
rocks.
just tucked it in. This is Scory, which is sort of my take on tufa, because couldn't get any tufa. But these are just free rocks that you see on Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace.
Yep.
They give away these rocks. Drill a few holes, yet to fill them up.
Yep.
Unsure what to fill them with. I've got a few little sedums and calincos and what have you poked in amongst it.
And there's just lots and lots of plants. Now, this is one that people might know.
This is Oxalis versicolor.
When you say oxalis, people get scared.
They run away.
They run away. But if you talk to Stephen Ryan at Dixonia Nursery,
He has an oxalarium, which is all different forms of oxalis that are not thugs, that won't run away.
so Stephen's a big fan,
He's a big fan. I've
and
got
you're
quite a few.
and you're a bit of a fan as well.
I would like to be a greater fan. This is superb when it opens up. Needs full sun for a couple of hours, and then they open up.
And again, just
Odds and sods,
dry
yes.
stone wall.
Dry stone wall.
This one flowing down here, that's an interesting looking plant.
That's a campanula, and it's one of the birch hybrids.
Okay, incredibly small foliage.
Very small foliage and the most electric blue flower, which is yet to open, but that's just a mass of this electric blue.
And then down here, lots of succulents up through here.
Yeah. Oh, Semper Vivum. Vivum.
This is Haworthia of some sort.
Haworthia. Yeah.
Yep. And again, we're coming back through a range of succulents here.
Yes.
There are some little beauties in here. This one got a name?
Monstrose, something monstrose.
Okay, again.
Sirius, I think.
We'll try and put the name in later on. You've got a few favourites in here?
Yeah, look. I love them all. Agavoides, yeah, one of the early ones. This is a better colour here. Ideally, you grow them hard.
Yep.
Yeah. Very little water to get the colour. If they get a bit of water and this guy gets a little bit of water down here, you just lose some of that colour. One of my favourites, I must admit.
This is a little beauty too.
Echeveria lilacina.
Right. Okay.
Lilacina. It is superb. A lovely flower in particular, but good in all its parts, this one.
And some of these are from James Lucas.
They are.
Succulents Australia.
Yes.
But probably not so much the cactus and
Collector's Corner.
Yeah.
Odds and sods.
We don't mind giving them a mention as well.
No.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, crested. Again, it's one of the monstrose, and I think it's a serious monstrose. Could be wrong. But that's a crested form.
Which is amazing. And this one here?
Yeah, Notocactus magnificus. Now, remember this one. It's does these golden yellow flowers and superb flowers on that one.
It's a little beauty, really, isn't it?
Nice.
And this is an Echeveria of some sort? More Bulbocodiums?
Bulbocodium spiro?
Spiro.
Yes.
And
I love them. Got that sort of rice paper look to it.
And they're just happy doing their thing.
It's happy. This one's particularly happy because it's not getting any slug damage.
Which is the advantage of them having in a pot off the ground.
It is. You can display them. This is from James Lucas and the pot.
That's a lovely little plant, isn't it?
It is gorgeous. Little baby sedum. An old brake drum. It was thrown out. It was left out on the nature strip.
And it got that pattern of age and you couldn't resist
Yes,
it.
could not resist. So I threw an aloe in there and it's been quite happy.
This is one of the Cordex plants.
Yeah, Cordex, yeah. Is it Senecio? Couldn't be sure.
This is the trouble with so many plants, and although you do know them, the name...
It's old age.
Yeah, you're right. Little Brother Montgomery.
Ah, yes. Suffering a little bit in the cold weather, but they bounce back in the summer, and that's quite the display there in summer.
And we're talking about old man's beards.
Yeah.
There we go.
Tillandsia. Do love the Tillandsia. Got a nice one here. Ripsalis. Do like the Ripsalis.
That's looking good too.
Yeah.
Just coming into flower.
Yeah. Very odd flower. And these Zeppies are terrific. This is, I'll get a good show this year. Should get a lot of flower.
What have we got over here?
That's Ranunculus brazen hussy.
Okay.
It's just starting. But gorgeous thing, needs full sun for it to come out. But a beautiful ranunculus that's, yeah.
Now, this is one of Jane Tompkins' favourites.
Could well be.
It is.
Okay.
It is. So
Yeah.
we'll give her a mention too.
Yeah.
Jane from Tompkins Bulbs.
Yeah.
A lot of good plants out there.
Fantastic plants out there. I've got an Aracema in here.
Yes.
This dies back and then the Aracema takes over in summer.
Which Aracema is it, do you know?
It's the very tortuosum.
Tortuosum.
Yeah.
That's an amazing plant.
Yeah, smells like an open drain.
Is that from Dontus?
Yeah.
And again, dry stone walls.
Yeah, lots of dry stone walls.
The concrete?
Yeah, concrete. Concrete capping. There wasn't concrete capping, and because I'm sort of bouncing around here quite a bit with the veg, I had to hold it all together, so I put a bit of concrete capping on it.
And if we look down here, we're looking at ornamental grasses.
Yeah.
And there's a range of things down there. We might go down and have a look. This is the area with the ornamental grasses, and it's winter. But there's more than ornamental grasses, because this is Cassonia.
Cassonia, yep.
Okay, and you've just pruned this back a little bit.
I take off some of the bottom leaves. It's since I took it out of a pot and planted it, it's showing incredible vigour.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll get up to about 2-3 metre.
Okay.
Yeah.
The grasses?
Grasses, odds and sods from Craig at Gentiana Nursery in Linda. Wonderful nursery.
Over the other side here, again, it's a sort of crevice garden. We've got some crocus in here.
We've got crocus. These are the absolute stars. This is Tulipa clusiana.
Okay.
Cynthia is the variety.
Yep.
And I recommend everyone to get one. They're just superb. Forms a little colony.
And where were they from?
I think they're freely available, but I can't remember where I got that. Might have come from Lamley originally.
Yep.
Might have come from Craig, Gentiana.
And we've got some of the reticulata iris.
Little reticulatas poking up.
Just coming up.
Just planted. This is from Craig as well. This is a little snowdrop, which is finished now. It's Wendy's Gold. And it was just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm just starting off a little colony there.
Apparently there are about 80 different types of snowdrops.
Yeah, the galantophiles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And much collected.
We're looking at doing a video on those with Craig next year.
Yeah.
So if you want to see 80 different crocus, hang around. And here we have got another little crocus.
Another little crocus. That might be Pickwick.
Okay. And over here, Histrioides?
Yes, Histrioides. Catherine Parkinson is the variety, which is struggling in the lack of sunlight. I put it in the wrong spot.
Yep.
I might whip them out and put them in the pot.
And in between, this one here?
Another oxalis.
Okay.
Parmifrons, I think it is. That's a bit cheeky, wants to colonise. There's a little bit of discipline.
So you need to keep that one under control.
I do.
So the mix that you've got the rocks and you've put them in lines, sort of.
In a free draining mix.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of rock and gravel in there.
There is. It's free draining for. Look, I'm a complete beginner when it comes to alpines and crevice gardens.
Yep.
This is my start. Yeah, so I'm still learning about it.
I love this plant over here.
It's Strobilanthus.
And it's just got colour.
It's a lovely thing.
It's
a little bit of frost damage on the top at the moment, but
should
grow through that.
And below it?
Is it a Carax?
It could be.
Ancient Nandina.
Just sitting in a pot?
Yes.
Doing its thing.
Yeah. Keep it pruned. Quite like it.
As we come out here, we're looking at more of the crevice gardens.
Very loosely, yeah. This is an orchid area. There's a few Sempis in there struggling on.
And again, the dry stone walls, ferns just coming out of them, as they will.
Mosses colonise it.
This one here?
It's a Banksia.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little low-growing.
Very low-growing. Superb flower on it. Just these magenta flowers on it. On a ground cover, which is quite unusual.
And here?
And that's a heather.
Very low-growing.
Very low-growing. We've got a little bit of Australia, a little bit of Scotland, a little bit of New Zealand here.
This one here?
Capo Blanco, little sedum.
Okay. And that's
very slow-growing.
Lovely little plant, though.
Yeah.
So again, we've got the crevice gardens.
Yeah. Labertia peregrinens.
Which is, this is the middle of winter.
Yeah.
And you've still got that foliage colour, though.
Well, that's it. They do their foliage colour in winter.
Yeah.
They colour up gold in winter.
Now, again.
Another oxalis.
Stephen Ryan.
Oh, not just a feral that just blew in. No idea where that came from. But it's found its place here. It's quite happy.
This little conifer?
Yeah. From Craig. Unsure which one. It's a miniature.
And this is the good old Aussie.
Casuarina,
so that's a great little plant.
fighting it out with the valerian. Not valerian, is it?
But the casuarina will win.
Well, yeah, should do.
And this
They
little
should-
grass here.
Forgotten his name too. Got a little yellow flower.
So this is coming into the woodland area, which is perhaps dominated by the large magnolia.
Yeah.
But before we go in there, Sunday Froze.
Sunday Fresh just really coming into its own after some good rain.
And again, we're moving down a level.
Rhododendron nutterline.
Which you could grow for the trunk in itself because
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the large leathery leaves are good too. Epimediums,
We've got epimediums, podophyllum.
ferns, including this one down
Woodland.
here, which I can't remember the name of. Dudia. Wonderful colour.
Beautiful colour.
The dwarf tree ferns.
Silver
Lady.
princess, is it?
Silver princess, silver lady.
Silver lady. Yeah.
Taller tree ferns.
Beesia. Big clump of beesia.
That's a really nice plant.
They're a lovely plant.
got that one, and it just does it for you.
Yeah.
It behaves itself.
Yeah, beautiful white flower, and it's been in for 10 years and doesn't give you the answer trouble.
It just stays where it is, and you eventually get a large clump. You do. Great plant
It really is.
for a shaded area. Hostas.
Hosta grandiflora with beautiful scent to it when it flowers. I'm calling that one Big Daddy.
You will have an argument about that.
Will we?
There are a number of hostas that I've seen labelled as
Yeah.
Big Daddy,
Yeah,
and there's lots of little differences. And it's difficult.
it is.
And this is one of the Aricenas.
I should point out that Hosta has been in that pot for over 20 years.
Okay.
And it comes back reliably. It would do better with a repot, but bit lazy.
So just a bit of fertiliser,
Yeah,
and that's it.
little bit of compressed chicken poo, whatever it is.
And this is the magnolia, and this provides, if you like, the ability to have the woodland garden because it gives you the shade.
Yeah, possibly too much though. Needs a summer prune just to maintain it, which I haven't done for a couple of years, but I will do this year.
And again, we've got little structures too, little columns, if you like, at the end of the steps,
Yeah.
pathway down, and then the hedge leads you out.
Yeah.
And there's again structure in the topiary balls.
Do you like a bit of structure? Tried to keep the topiary and the more formal aspects out the front. Wisteria roseum. And just throwing on another flush of flowers. This is smothered in flower in the spring. Absolutely smothered, buzzing with bees. It's a good thing.
And you've got this up on a trellis that you built.
Steel frame. And some treated pine poles, which yet to finish wiring on. They're just loosely wired on at the moment. We're all waited for them to shrink before I tighten them right up. But this is the latest fence, which is just cyclone wire, or the cyclone fence fittings, Rio, and all these stakes came up from an old tiler. And when they re-roof, they pull off all the old battens, and so I converted all the old battens into a fence. This rose here is Rosa Swiggenzoii. It's not a repeat flower, but when it does, you just get these beautiful single cerise flowers. They're absolutely magnificent. And now the hips are just coming on, and they'll go wine red. Those hips.
So we might be able to cut in a photograph of some of these flowers that we've mentioned that aren't in at the moment. So this is the other side of the entrance.
Yeah, just a mixed bag, Aeonium, Agave geminiflora, which gives you those
The tall
extraordinary spires, Berberis, Lilium, Bronze Fennel, Cotinus Golden Spirit.
So you started up the top, and this is sort of
My way down. Yeah.
where you finished.
Yeah.
So if you're going to build a garden, plan it out.
Make your mistakes on paper.
We'd like to thank Ross for this amazing garden tour. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for regular updates on a whole range of garden plants and indeed garden design ideas. And as always, good luck with your gardening.